Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Halftime on the Hudson. I am your host, Jimmy Chantulis, alongside my good friend, Derek DeGallo. I believe this is the first time we've actually hosted an episode together.
Yeah, it's great to see you. It's great to do this.
Derek,
excited. I'm pumped.
Derek, it's a great night. There's a lot of news in sports right now, but something that I want to focus on right now, there have been a lot of injuries to a lot of NFL premier stars so far. Mike Williams of the LA Chargers just got hurt, tore his ACL, out for the year this past Monday. The Monday before, Nick Chubb, same thing, blows out his knee. Minkah Fitzpatrick tackles him low. People call him dirty. That's besides the point. I don't think it was a dirty hit, but he's out for the year. They had to go ahead and sign Kareem Hunt. And not Monday Night Football, but this past Sunday, Derek Carr went down against the Packers. He hurt his AC joint in his shoulder. He's potentially out a couple weeks too. So I got to ask you, Derek, what is going on with all of these injuries right now in the NFL?
The problem with all these injuries is it's not something that the NFL can help with concussions or anything like that. It's out of their control at this point. What they have to do is, it's all about the training staff. It's all about repetition. We talk about it in baseball. You talk about it in all different sports. People talk about doing yoga. Maybe that helps. But in these instances, yoga, there's nothing you really can do with these injuries. It's just unfortunate circumstances with these players, with these teams. I think the biggest solution to all these injuries is we're going to see more teams expanding the roster size. Practice squads, I think, are going to be a little bit bigger, just based on the fact of you're talking about during the COVID time, practice squads were, larger, roster sizes were larger. I think that's going to continue in the future, but it's just a shame at this point because it's not just injuries are happening. It's injuries to big-time players. Mike Williams, like you mentioned, Derek Carr, Aaron Rodgers, first time he was a Jet in the fourth play of the game he's hurt. It's just unfortunate at this time, and there's no solution to any of these injuries because it's all freak accidents. What do you think with these freak accidents? Is there anything that the NFL can really do at this point? It just doesn't seem like there's much they can do.
Yeah, you talk about freak accidents, and I go to the injury like Aaron Rodgers. A lot of the NFL really kind of came for the league and saying that they need to do away with all the artificial turf because there have been multiple cases where players are getting hurt in these non-contact injuries because their cleats are getting stuck in the turf, their legs are moving all in different directions, tearing their ligaments. We saw Aaron Rodgers tear his Achilles. It was a really bad play. He got sacked, and then his ankle took a weird stop in the turf. And then a couple years ago in the Super Bowl too, we saw OBJ tear his ACL on that turf. It was a complete freak accident, no contact whatsoever. And I believe the Mike Williams injury too was no contact as well, as far as I'm aware.
Yep.
I could be wrong, but I do believe that a lot of these ligament injuries have to do with this artificial turf. And I just don't understand what the problem is with replacing all this. The league makes billions upon billions of dollars, and they can't shell out a couple millions of dollars to replace all the turf in a lot of those stadiums to real grass. We're having the World Cup in the United States in just a couple years, and they play on real grass. Yeah. And a lot of these stadiums are going to have to replace it with grass anyways. So I don't understand what's the problem with replacing it now, getting a maintenance crew to keep up with it, because that is something that can be easily done, and it's going to make the players and the owners, their relationship just a lot better. It just seems like the NFLPA and the owners, it's not a good relationship just because of how everything's been handled so far.
I think to your point, that you talk about trying to get grass instead of turf. I think the biggest reason why they might not do it is football wants to play all the time. There's been more domes involved in sports over the course of time, and overall, you don't think of playing in a dome but playing on grass. That's just not something we see in sports, but that certainly can happen. But the injury factor, MetLife Stadium is one of those places, and I'm a Giants guy through and through, but it's one of those places that out of all of the stadiums in the NFL, it has probably arguably the most injuries. There's talk about a solution for that in the future. Do teams move, or what's going to happen there? But I just feel like at the end of the day, injuries are going to happen. Sadly, it's happening early. But on the bright side, you could say, well, maybe if it's happening early, that maybe in the playoffs, maybe later on down the road, we're not going to see these types of injuries. At this point, it's unfortunate. It's big names. It's unfortunate that the NFL has had issues with injuries for their entire, the entire time that NFL has been along. Injuries are going to happen. It just sucks at this point that it's happening to guys like Mike Williams, guys like Aaron Rodgers. And it's not just happening. Right now, we're early on in the season, and it's happened every single week. A solution needs to be happened. Hopefully things get better once we're around week 6, around that situation. But at the end of the day, NFL, come on now. You guys got to step up. We don't want to see injuries to the best players in all the NFL. That's an issue.
Yeah, no, I mean, you're absolutely right. I mean, those high-profile guys rake in the dollars, making the NFL a lot richer. So without those guys on the field, the NFL is really losing out on a lot of potential revenue. So something needs to be done to be able to protect these players.
Yep, and we're going to move over to the college football side of things. Deion Sanders, Colorado, 3-0, going up against Oregon last week. And let me tell you, that was a brutal beating that Oregon took on Oregon. I understand Travis Hunter wasn't playing because of the hit on Colorado State and all the other shenanigans going on. But what are your thoughts on Deion Sanders bringing Colorado basically back to relevancy, and then what happened against that Oregon team?
I mean, look, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I wasn't super big into college football before this season. I mean, definitely having Coach Prime as a figure in college football, not even has brought me a lot more into the entire world of college football. I'm sure that speaks true for a lot of different people as well. I mean, Deion Sanders is one of the greatest players of all time in the NFL, greatest cornerback to ever exist. So being able to translate his skills into a Pac-12 team like Colorado, he's been able to just right this ship. I mean, Colorado was garbage last year. They had 11 losses.
They had no wins. No wins.
Literally, it was a complete dumpster fire of a program. But then he ends up coming in. He brings in all of his guys from Jackson State, and everything just seems to be working perfectly for him. I mean, like you just mentioned, he's 3-0. He goes into Oregon, but Oregon said, "Get the hell out of our town." There was so much talk, so much backlash about all the trash talk that the Colorado players have done. I mean, look, I completely understand. They have a big head after their huge win against Colorado State, which mind you, they were heavily favored. But again, that's besides the point. Colorado hasn't really seen this kind of relevancy in a long time. So they go into Oregon. They're walking all over their field pregame. They're scuffing up the big O right in the center of the field, talking crap about it. And Oregon catches wind of it. And what do you know? They get blown out 42-6. I think that this should be a wake-up call for the program. I think Deion needs to take a look within himself and make sure that his guys know that they can't be doing this kind of stuff, because a lot more teams are going to be headhunting them. I mean, they have a tough Pac-12 schedule coming up. I believe they play USC.
The Pac-12 is back.
Yeah,
at the end of the day, the Pac-12 is back.
Which is hilarious, because the Pac-12 is going to be dissolved after this year anyway, but that's besides the point.
They're the best conference in football right now, and we talk about it, and the Pac-12 is gone at this point. But Deion Sanders, Colorado. To start, 3-0, that's great. That's probably the most wins that Colorado's had in probably 5-10 years. But the fact that you go in and you don't have Travis Hunter, that is a big reason why Colorado loses that football game. And if you look at stats purely on that game, Shedeur Sanders, the quarterback, his son, he had a decent game. He didn't have a great game. He didn't have a Heisman game, but he still played to his capabilities. He had a good performance. They weren't able to get it done. But what I want to mention, Oregon, they're an underrated football team in the Pac-12. Everybody talks about Colorado going into this game. Everybody talked about USC. Everybody talked about all the other teams in the Pac-12. Oregon and Bo Nix is one of those teams that I personally believe is underrated. I think they're probably going to lose 1 or 2 games, but they're a team to look out for in the Pac-12. But Oregon, Colorado, that matchup, at the end of the day, Colorado, we kind of knew this at some point. Colorado was going to lose a game. It's just not human nature that you're going to see a coach come into a situation and have that many transfers going into his program, and you have 0 wins the year before and going undefeated. That's just not something that's going to happen. I think the problem with Colorado is they're so lenient on Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders that is going to be something that they have to establish of who's the running back. They have a good running back. He did not have a great game against Oregon. He had maybe 3 carries, maybe 15 yards. Just not a good game. They need to be more balanced offensively. The biggest concern for me for Colorado, though, is when you have a guy in Travis Hunter, and I'm a big proponent of be versatile, do what you can to be a playmaker. When he is playing like 200 snaps in a football game, he's going to be drained. He's your best player. And also, you're Deion Sanders. You played at the NFL level. Do we really think that this guy is going to be able to do this at the NFL level, playing 200 snaps and not getting hit like we saw in that Colorado State game? It's just not happened. So with that said, Travis Hunter, what do you think he's going to do at the next level for Colorado in the future kind of Colorado without having Travis Hunter for the next couple weeks?
Yeah, I mean, right now without having Travis Hunter, again, like you mentioned, he is their X factor, both sides of the ball. I mean, he's their number one wide receiver. He's their number one corner. He can do a bit of everything, and having a coach like Deion Sanders who was able to play both sides of the ball in the NFL, he is the perfect coach, the perfect mentor to be able to kind of translate that type of skill into college and potentially the NFL. I'm not knocking it. I mean, look, I understand playing 200 snaps, both sides of the ball, that's going to drain you. I mean, middle school and high school sports, it's like you're expected to play both sides of the ball anyways, and then once you start getting into college, it's very rare, especially nowadays, where you see guys playing both sides of the ball. It's where you really start to kind of specialize in one side of the ball. But Travis Hunter still is a very athletic, very athletic. He's very gifted. But at the same time, though, I feel like there's still some things he needs to hone in. He's also one of those guys that kind of needs to reel in that kind of trash talk because of the chemistry and kind of like the rapport that Deion Sanders has brought. Look, I see all the clips from like their practices or whatnot. Deion is a good coach. He's able to rein in his guys when they're kind of getting off track. But again, he kind of gives them that free rein to do whatever they want because of honestly, it's because of his personality. His personality is kind of rubbing off on a lot of his players. I mean, look, we literally saw him roll up in the shades, in the hat, and it's just not a good look, especially when you're getting beat down that bad. I mean, and Oregon literally mocked them with their mascot. Like it's hilarious. It really is. But again, back to Travis Hunter. I'm sorry. I just kind of went on a little bit of a tangent. Yeah. I mean, but not having him on the field right now does really hurt. I mean, Shedeur Sanders the first couple weeks of the season was looking like a potential Heisman candidate.
I still think he is a potential Heisman candidate.
I mean, yeah, no, he still definitely has Heisman capabilities. It was just one bad game, and I mean,
I don't even think it was a bad game, to be honest with you. I mean, the result didn't turn out the way they wanted to, but if you look statistically, he's maybe had 1 or 2 touchdowns, but not having your number one weapon, and if you look at this Colorado team from top to bottom, it's top heavy. It's basically Travis Hunter, Shedeur Sanders. I love their running back because he committed at Notre Dame, and he didn't have that great of
you and your Notre Dame
Dude,
guys,
I'm telling you, that team is going to be good in a couple of years, but I feel like this Colorado team, honestly, I think they go in. I think they lose 4 games this year, and that's a huge confidence boost. Now, the 2 questions with this Colorado team. Travis Hunter, is he coming back for another year? I don't think so. I mean, if you're him, I think he would be a top 5, top 10 pick in the NFL draft, and that's a guy who I want on my team in the NFL. Shedeur Sanders, I think he needs to stay in college, and if you give him 1 more year, I think you're talking about a potential number 1 overall pick in Shedeur Sanders. At the end of the day, is Shedeur Sanders going to win the Heisman?
Dude, you should have just seen my face when you said that. I mean, like, look, Shedeur Sanders was playing pretty good. Whoa, all right, hold on. Dan Allback just said he's a top 10 pick. Whoa, no, all right. Hey, we got some crazies in the background over here, but that's besides the point. Shedeur Sanders, I don't think is going to be I don't think he's going to be a first overall pick. I mean, look, he's been playing great so far, but not having his number 1 guy, it is going to hurt him a little bit. I would like to see him suit up in a couple more weeks to potentially kind of right this ship, but I do believe I saw a clip of Deion Sanders saying that both Shedeur and Travis aren't going to the NFL after this season. He's making them stay and play another year. But again, though, at the end of the day, it is the players' choices too. Yeah. I just think that to be able to kind of hone their skills, Shedeur definitely needs another year in college to be able to produce as an NFL talent. And I mean, sure, you could say that Travis Hunter has the capability of excelling in the NFL right away, but I just think that there are a couple more things that maybe Deion can teach him before he kind of takes that next step, because he could absolutely play both sides of the ball in the NFL. It's just a matter of fully understanding, like, like both sides of the ball, like absolutely. I mean, Dion back in his day said, like, because he was primarily a corner, he said that you needed to dominate your main side of the ball before you go on to the next. So Hunter really needs to be able to establish himself as a force on one side of the ball before fully making that switch to playing both sides.
Yeah, and I think when you mention that, Coach Dion, primetime, however you want to describe him, he's talked about it, like you mentioned, be good at one side of the ball, do the next. If you look at the stat count of Travis Hunter, he's played more defensive back, cornerback than he has played at wide receiver, and I'm going to stick to that point. I'm talking Shedeur Sanders. I said it before. I think if you're betting odds, I would bet him to win the Heisman this year. I don't think he's going to end up winning it, but I think that's a slam dunk pick to do it because he's going to be in that race throughout the entire year. And if you look at the draft class for next year, quarterback-wise, I personally am not a fan of some of these quarterbacks coming out. That's why I think he's a slam dunk. Not a slam dunk number one pick, but I think he has the potential to be at the number one pick.
Now, Derek, I do apologize to cut you off here, but I am getting signal that we're going to have to start wrapping this up a little bit. But let's get on to the final segment. Derek, just give me a little overview. Mel Tucker of Michigan State was just fired recently. Can you kind of explain like why he was and what this means for the Michigan State program?
So it came to me that Mel Tucker was fired. It was happening 2 weeks ago. There was a sexual misconduct that was going on at Michigan State. They found out it's not a good situation for Michigan State. It took them a couple weeks to figure out what the investigation was. They found out there's still not a full story on everything that's going on at this point. But Michigan State is moving on from Mel Tucker. He had a huge contract extension. He had $80 million owed in the next 10 years. They ended up not getting it done. At this point, it's up in the air. Is he going to get the money? Is he not? They say for cause. We don't know. Michigan State's looking for a new coach. When you talk about new coaches, to me, there's so many new coaches that you can come up with. From the top, obviously, the Michigan offensive coordinator, Sharon Moore, is going to be the guy that they're going to look at. Personally, I think he's a good coach. Do I love him a lot? I don't know. I think there's a ton of coaches out there that I would personally prefer. Jamie Chadwell, head coach of Liberty, was Coastal Carolina's coach. That's the guy who I would personally look at. Matt Campbell, a guy from Iowa State's another guy I like. But I had to call up my boy, Zach Musso. And he's a Michigan State through and through guy. And this is what he told me. He wants two guys in particular. These are the guys that he loves. He loves. So we want to talk Lance Leipold, the head coach from Kansas. That's the guy who he really liked as a head coach. He also said Ryan Grube, the Washington offensive coordinator, is a future coach at college. That's the guy who he likes. And then the last guy that he wants to mention, Chris Kleinman, Kansas State head coach. Those are three guys that Zach Musso likes. So you got to keep those guys on the board for your Michigan State.
All right, Derek. That's all the time we have for this segment. We are going to be moving things over to our debate show where we have a very fiery matchup with Dan Albach, Will Rosen. They had a couple words to say beforehand, so let's swing it over to that, and we'll see you right over there. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another exciting matchup in Prove Your Point. I am your host, Mr. Rockland, a.k.a. Jimmy Chantulis, and we got some heavyweight matchups. Starting out, the heavyweight, the champ, the junior, the editor-in-chief of center field, Mr. Dan Albach.
How we doing?
Dan, we're doing well. Glad to have you here.
Yeah, it's a busy postseason schedule. We sent out one article today.
Oh, is that right?
I'm glad I can make it. You look great. Look at that hair, guys. I mean, you can't beat that. That's success, and you can't teach that.
Guys, you sucking up to the judge?
No. I flipped him off earlier.
Moving on.
Okay.
Moving on.
Yeah.
And on my other corner,
all right,
we have the underdog. Although, in pre-rankings, he is the favorite, a minus 130 favorite to beat Daniel Albach. We have the challenger, the freshman phenom sports broadcaster, William Rosen.
I like this.
How are we doing, Jimmy? Dan?
Doing well.
Hey, pleasure.
Pleasure.
Yeah, pleasure. Maybe it suits you.
I appreciate it. Hey, on the broadcast, save it.
Will, how we doing tonight?
I'm doing well, Jim. Thanks for having me here.
Of course, of course.
Before we get started,
Yes.
just a little comment to the audience. They wrote me off. I got Will's pen. I ain't writing back.
Oh,
Just want to. Here you go.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
That's very
I
nice.
stole it last broadcast. So.
Little bit of
Stole
G-
it.
little bit of
and
Geno
can we get
Smith?
ISO on camera 1 for a second?
Oh, he wants the
oh,
ISO.
oh, he wants it. He wants
freshman
it.
You
wants the
stole
ISO.
it, and you broke it.
That was like that. I don't break. Other
Whoa,
people's
whoa,
stuff,
all right,
man.
guys,
I might
guys,
break
guys,
I'm gonna
guys.
break down your arguments, but I'm not gonna break.
Whoa, whoa, all right, guys. I'm going to need you guys to calm down the
need you to
hostility.
take a
Whoa,
break.
the hostility. All right, guys. Come on.
I
Focus up
love
here.
Eugene's
Come on.
hair. Sorry.
Guys, more sucking up to the judge.
That's not-
That's besides the point. All right. We have the two challengers. We're just going to get right into it. Damian Lillard just got traded to the Milwaukee Bucks in a blockbuster 3-team deal.
Crazy.
Daniel, tell me who won this trade.
It's pretty clear. It's the Blazers. I mean, obviously, the Bucks, they got their guy. And I give props to the Bucks. They waited. They staked out. They got their guy. However, Lillard is 30. His contract in 26, 27, he has like a $63 million player option. That's way too much money for the Blazers to pay. I mean, look, they weren't going to pay him, and he sure was not going to play at the upcoming season, rather. Here's the gist. Drew Holiday was a part of that deal. That is insane value. Not that they're going to keep him, because this is the Scoot Henderson era. I mean, Scoot, one of my favorite players coming out of this draft, and look, Wembanyama gets all the hype. I'm really liking what I saw from Scoot in the summer league. And look, obviously, Lillard was not going to play. They got really good value. They got those pick swaps, which, hey, later down the line, this Bucks roster is going to be aging. Like, I think of 2028 and 2030 pick swaps. Those are going to be really good by the time, Lillard onto the Kupo, he'll be good. But obviously, all these other players are aging. Portis, Lopez, they are betting on the Bucks to be bad later on. They won this trade. They got the value they could, and they got a much better deal than if they traded with the Heat or even the Raptors.
Dan, I like your soliloquy. It was very inspiring,
Thank you, man.
for a young Portland Trailblazers team.
Yeah.
But, Will,
Here.
what do you got for me here?
So I agree with you. The value.
Thanks, man. Okay, let's go.
All right, yeah, all right, wrap this up. He says he agrees.
Who switched cameras? Yeah. Okay.
I agree with you. The value that was received by Milwaukee,
Exceptional.
excuse me, by the Trailblazers, exceptional.
Mm-hmm.
However, Milwaukee came in. They came from right field, or they even came from center
Center
field.
field. Oh, wow.
All right, come on, come on,
Let's go.
come on,
Come on.
come on.
All right,
You didn't even say out of left field, which was my column, my tri-weekly column.
Dude, things are looking good for you right now, Will. Come on.
All right.
Come on.
So the value that the Bucks got for Damian Lillard. Let's talk about this.
Let's talk.
They received Damian Lillard, a perennial All-Star, a perennial All-NBA, MVP caliber player.
That's prime.
And let's talk about this lineup that they have going into next season. That's what we're focusing on, right? Winning the championship in
Right,
24,
right.
winning the championship in 25. An $11 million discrepancy between him and Drew Holiday's contract next year. Drew Holiday, a great guy and a great player. Love his family. However, if you have the chance...
Love his his family?
They're great people.
That's so... Oh, man. He knows that... We gotta move on. I don't know the family. I'm sorry, man.
Come on.
Yeah.
Well, you got, Drew Christmas, Drew Hanukkah.
The Bucks bench is the Antetokounmpo brothers. And you call that a winning franchise?
Dan, I just want to let you know that Thanasis is no longer on Milwaukee, so you're
Let's talk about this lineup and the bench here for the Bucks. Point guard, Damian Lillard. Shooting guard, a shooter shoot, Pat Connaughton, Chris Middleton, Giannis, Brook Lopez, Splash Mountain, reinventing his game as his career continues. He has not let up. He's even improved since his Brooklyn and New Jersey days. On the bench, you got Wide Eyes Portis, Malik Beasley, Jay Crowder, Beauchamp, who's now in his, second year? Defensive menace. I think he's going to be in contention for that Defensive Player of the Year if he plays a lot. Robin Lopez, the Lopez twins, the hook shot, that is going to win them the championship. But let's go back to Dame Lillard. Once again, that $11 million discrepancy, and you're only giving up a few players. You're giving up Drew Holiday.
Oh, great. Thanks for checking. I didn't have it written down here.
Yeah,
so.
Grayson Allen.
Basketball reference. Probably.
Grayson Allen. That's all
Yep.
you're going to get. So when you have the chance to come out of left field and get
Oh, see,
a superstar in Damian Lillard, why not? For the money value, I think it's worth it.
All right. That's enough time. Well, you've lulled me to sleep.
right.
But hey, you make good points.
I liked his argument. Like I said, this is a very balanced trade.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Neither of us picked the Suns for obvious reasons, but
True, understandable, but not. In all fairness, I understand where you're coming from. Milwaukee is really trying to, push the initiative. They're trying to close in on that top dog of the East. But this is where things are a little bit different. You in the audience, yes, you, I'm coming for you right here. You all have an opportunity to choose Dan or Will. Make your votes.
is it happening right now? Are we doing that right now?
It's happening right now. We have a live studio audience voting.
A lot of people here.
And whoever loses today is off the show forever.
Oh, jeez.
No, I'm just kidding. That's not fair.
I'm going abroad, so we're fine.
You have me for 4 more, so.
This is true. All right.
Oh, true.
Now that we have.
True holiday?
Now that the audience has casted their votes for this first discussion, moving on to discussion number 2. NFL rookies. We have a couple of, inspiring talents. They've really kind of shown out immediately translating from college. We started with you last time, Dan. Will.
Sure did.
Give it a go.
All right. I would love to. When you're drafted in a round, if you're drafted in a round later than 4, 5, and 6, you're coming into the league trying to make yourself known. And that's exactly what my main man, Puka Nacua, has done. Who is Puka? Did you know Puka? No. Did you know Puka? No. We're getting nods from redheads. No one knows Puka. What are we doing here? Coming out of Washington, the man was almost unknown in the general NFL fandom. However, in 3 games so far, 30 receptions, 338 yards. No touchdowns, but Jacoby Myers had no touchdowns. Let's keep that in matter of fact. Puka.
I don't want any Patriots player hate. Come on.
Oh,
Come on.
know your judges.
Come on.
Know your judges.
No, I was giving props to him.
Okay.
Can we get a review on that?
Can we get a challenge? Can I get a Bill Belichick challenge? Little sassy flag throw. Continue.
Thank you.
Come on. Continue.
I think it was I'm in the right start.
Yeah.
Puka Nacua came out of nowhere, just kind of like this Bucks trade.
He doesn't. Okay, I'm gonna stop you right there. Pan to me, please. I'm waiting.
Cam 3, we need you.
Jesus. Okay, thank you guys in the truck. Love you. Anyway, Puka is going to be out of the job as a number 1 in 3 games. He is a fantasy football machine, and that's it. He is not making an immediate impact in the future for this Rams team. They still have Matt Stafford and a Cooper Kupp connection. Cooper Kupp. Do you know who Cooper Kupp is, right? 145 receptions. No. I ain't gonna let you go.
Whoa. No.
145 catches 2022. The next most was Higbee with 61.
Excuse me, Dan.
61.
Hey, Danny boy. All back. What was the question? Can we repeat that? It wasn't
He's out of the job
the best
soon.
player on the Chargers, was it? Or the Rams, excuse me.
Oh, no, he doesn't even know his LA.
Was it? Was that the question?
They play in the same stadium, and he's not even watching.
You got to debate him.
Dan,
I'm just the mediator
I'm going
here.
to keep going because C.J. Stroud is taking over this league, and it's not even a question who's the better rookie. It's
been 3 weeks.
Yes, exactly, which is your point on who's the best rookie these 3 weeks. C.J. Stroud, 3rd most passing yards through 3 games as a rookie, no interceptions. Not a single one. You know who the top 2 guys on that list were? One of them was Peyton Manning, who threw so many interceptions his first year. Oh, good. Fact check that because you don't have your notes prepped. His wide receivers are Nico Collins, Tank Dell, and Robert Woods. And he's making the offense work. That is incredible. D'Amico Ryan is the head coach. You have a defensive coordinator as your head coach. You go into a system where, Anthony Richardson and Bryce Young look like they had better offensive weapons, and that is a fact. You go into a system, and you beat Trevor Lawrence at his own game. You outplay him. It's incredible what he's doing. The Texans fans have it rough. Let's be real. They have it rough. And they are in a good spot. This is the most NFL-ready quarterback. Puka Nacua isn't even a good route runner. He's just getting lucky because Stafford likes him. Tutu Atwell, he's not going to do the job, I'm sure. Tyler Higbee, yeah, he's great. He's a solid, reliable option. Once Cooper Kupp comes in, Puka's not going to be out of the job. I'm sorry.
Will, Do you want to continue here?
Yeah, I'll take one more jab. All right. Dan, Mr. Stroud projected to come into this league and dominate, which I give him credit for. That's what he's doing.
If we're talking about switching arguments, it's the best rookie so far. It's not who is the most surprising. It's the best. And C.J. Stroud
Yeah, but that's the similar question.
is the best. Objectively.
Best is an objective word. Let's go back to Puka.
Right. This is an objective question.
Yeah, and I'm objecting.
No. So, talk about
Objection.
Puka.
Objection.
Okay.
All right. Puka Nacua coming in the 5th round, as I mentioned. He's coming in and he's dominating. The
First
wide
off,
receiver
respect,
race.
I love
This
Puka.
wide
He's a
receiver
great
race.
guy. Great guy. Great person off the field. Continue.
You know him? You know his
No,
family?
but you know the other families. You know Drew Holiday's family. I think he's a great guy, though. He looks like a nice guy off the field. So
Yeah, and you know the mob families.
You're right, I do.
Yeah. So,
black mass, whitey bulger, massive. So
I'll never tell.
okay.
I'm taking this question how I feel I want to take it. We're not talking about best performance. We're talking about best player. So we're coming into this draft with an unknown player to most fans, and he's dominating the wide receiver race. He's moving fast. The routes are
Zay
accurate.
Flowers.
He's making a hell of a catches. 30 over 3. That's 10 catches a game. You can't ask for more for a 5th round pick. So Dan, let me ask you. If C.J. Stroud were to continue his presence,
Yeah.
but only for 1 year,
Are you saying that C.J. Stroud's only going to... Is that the most blasphemous statement you've ever heard? C.J. Stroud is a generational talent so far. And look, you look at the wide receivers he had in Ohio State. He made them all great. He was the root for, all those great receivers. JSN. I mean, Marvin Harrison. I mean, all these guys he made good. And he is in a system now with NFL receivers who are supposed to be trash other than Tank Dell. And he's making them work. And that's my point. It's the best rookie so far.
and I think this is the best value of a rookie.
All right, Jerry Seinfeld, come on. Let's move things on here. All right, guys, you in the audience, please vote on this second fiery topic. You know, I'm loving what these two are giving me. Yeah, what's up, Will?
Just want to say one thing.
Yeah.
Anybody taken in the first round is going to get an advantage. Is that not correct, Jim?
No, typically you're
I'm going
correct.
on an
took 'em.
outlier. I'm going on a wild card.
took 'em.
I'm going with someone who
No
wasn't
pity
even
points.
supposed to be. Me and Dan talked pregame, wasn't even on the radar.
Zay Flowers is better. Miley knows.
Now we're bringing out shades. We're indoors. We're rude. What are you, prime time?
just switching to Jerry
You're not
Seinfeld.
prime time.
Also,
you're
you're
daytime
copying my
TV.
style.
You're daytime TV,
Gentlemen,
Dan.
gentlemen,
Suspended center field.
Gentlemen.
You heard it here
Hey,
first.
that's a get him out of here.
Gentlemen, you've already used your challenge a while ago.
I still have mine.
It happened. You just don't remember.
Do I get mine? still?
You also used yours. You don't remember either. Come on. This is a very fiery topic. I love what I'm seeing, but we got to move things on. Now we're switching things up to a different sport. MLB. Playoffs are right around the corner, but we have some very disappointing teams. Dan, give me what you have to say.
Can you look at this picture for me, please?
I would love to.
Can you show that to the camera, please? Can you go in a little closer?
Of course. All right.
Show Will, too. I think
Everyone in
Will
the
should know.
audience, what stadium is this? Oh, I'll back up. It
It's
is.
Yankee Stadium.
I'm singing in the rain.
You know what this looks like?
I'm singing
It looks like Yankee Stadium
show
to me.
that to Will, please.
Will do. Will, what does this look like?
It looks like a rain-delayed second day of a last homestand.
That is Aaron Judge bobblehead day.
Canceled.
And
Canceled.
there are no
was canceled.
fans? Are you kidding
It
me?
was canceled.
The pride of New York Yankees. The
Canceled.
pride of New York baseball. We know the Mets are
actually
going to
Roger-
disappoint, which,
Roger
by the way,
Maris
he's going to
bobblehead
get
day?
into way later. The Mets disappoint. We
Roger
got some
Maris
Mets fans in the
bobblehead
back, I know for sure. And they are not surprised at all. And guess what? Steve Cohen actually did something about it. He did something about the disappointment. He sold when you needed to sell.
Oh, yeah,
The
he sold
Steinbrenners would be
inside a
rolling in their
trade.
grave if they saw what the Yankees have done this year. At the deadline, they get Kenyon Middleton. That dude is fine, but they don't have any corner outfielders. They have the best bullpen and no corner outfielders, and you don't get one? Judge, Stanton, Rodon, Nestor Cortes, all injured, which, again, happens every year. If the Orioles win the division this year, they'll have the same amount of division titles as the Yankees the past 10 years. Steinbrenner, Father Steinbrenner must be dead again. If that's even possible, I can't even. I don't have any words. Look, the Mets disappoint year after year. We know that. The Yankees were supposed to be in the playoffs, and so were the Mets. This is the New York Yankees. This is the pride of New York. The Mets are a joke. They are a joke to me.
I agree,
Dan.
I think that's a great point,
No,
Dan.
Dan.
I really appreciate that.
Daniel, what are you arguing here? Are you arguing
The
Yankees?
highlight of the season was supposed to be Volpe. That dude is trash.
What?
He is a terrible hitter. He is a terrible hitter.
Terrible hitter?
Below average hitter, great defender. And he's got
A 22-plus home run guy.
I'm sure
first
everyone loves
Washington
Fangraphs.
Hills?
Everyone loves Fangraphs.
Oh.
And everyone loves his defensive
Now
metrics.
he has me
This
going.
dude is trash.
No, he's not.
He is trash.
No, he's not.
After an ALCS, I almost just said ACL. ALCS bid.
He wasn't
They're
on
just
the
out
team.
of the playoffs.
He wasn't.
They're as good as the Red Sox
wasn't on the
this
team
year,
for that,
which
though.
pains me to say. But
He wasn't on the team for that. Okay, Jimmy, can you stand here for a second?
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm good. I said what I needed
All
to
right,
say.
Jimmy,
Look,
if we pulled out props, I'm going to pull out my own.
All right.
And if I'm allowed to, may I
Props.
stand up for a moment?
You may.
Okay.
he's got a $5 bill and a Maris ID in his back.
right.
No, you're not paying. Are you paying off the judges?
No.
He's collusion.
This
Collusion.
is prop money. Okay, Jimmy?
Yes.
Not giving this for value.
Be careful. He's paying the judges. I want this
ready?
on camera
Yes.
too.
Hold these out like this. Okay. Justin Verlander, Max Scherzer.
Carlos Rodon is
I
the
will now
worst
give you
free agent
my-
signing
I'm
of
gonna-
the
excuse
season,
me,
and it's
Dan,
not
Dan,
even close.
I'm putting on a show. It's rude. I'm now going to give you my Maris college ID with no Maris money on it. All right? This is what the Mets
Oh
have.
my goodness, this is crazy. The #1 Astros prospect and Baby Acuna
All right.
is what his Maris money is apparently.
All right,
So he must
so-
have
so
like
Dan,
$50 million in Maris
Dan,
money because
Dan,
that's how much
Dan,
these
Dan,
players
Dan,
I'm
worth.
sorry. I'm gonna have to cut you off here. I
Dan.
need Will,
Thank you.
please.
Thank you, Jimmy.
I need to
Dan.
know what you got to argue
Dan,
here.
you're coming into this season with generational pitching. Justin Verlander, Max
I am.
Scherzer.
I'm not a Yankees fan. He said you are. I'm not a Yankees fan. I'm not even on the Yankees.
Gentlemen, where are we going here? I'm a
You're
little
rooting-
lost. What are we arguing
No,
here?
keep going. Continue. I'm not rooting for the Yankees. I'm just telling you they're trash.
I know.
Continue.
What?
You said you're coming into the season. I'm not a Yankees.
Oh, General you.
Okay.
Not you, General you. The Mets were coming into this season. The Mets were coming into this season with generational talent. They end the season. What the hell happened? You were supposed to be World Series contenders. You were supposed to get the money. You were supposed to be the Yankees. And you weren't the Yankees. You were the Nets of 2012. The Nets of 2014.
You're not arguing basketball, William.
I'm making a comparison. Allow me to do so. You're coming into this season with generational aspirations. You pay the big bucks. You pay for Senga. You're ready for Pete to go off.
Great signing, by the way. Senga.
And what the hell happened? You get both of them before the trade deadline? Away from the team? That wasn't the goal coming into the season. Sure, the Yanks had a compared bad year. We're still going to be above 500. So what we didn't get a good AL East shot this year? It's the Yankees. We get it every year. I'm not defending that. Compared, we had a poor year. However, on the wide scale of things in the MLB, we had an average year. The Mets stink. What the hell happened? It was a dumpster fire. And I just saw the movie Dumb Money. In theaters now. I recommend it.
Is this a shameless plug?
No, Steve Cohen. It's about Steve Cohen.
It is.
Insider trading much? Al Steinbrenner don't know what he's doing,
All right,
but at least he ain't in jail.
Can I say something, please?
Please.
So there was a Yankees game today, if you don't know. Judge hit 2 home runs. Cole, complete game, 2 strike. I think it was 2-hitter. That means nothing. I mean, it means absolutely nothing. They
baseball's
have
an
a Cy
individual
Young
sport.
candidate, and they are wasting 2 contracts. 2. Count them, 2 contracts.
You wasted 2 contracts before the
Judge's
season
prime.
even
62.
began.
He hit 62. Well, what did he hit this year? 40, and it doesn't matter. He hit 40 in like 100 games. It does not matter. It's ridiculous what they're doing. They're wasting their talent. They have no health plan. They're front office. They're not even willing to fire anyone. It blows my mind. I feel for Yankees fans. I really do. It pains my heart because like Mets fans, yeah, sure, you have a limited supply of money, and they get through this every year. Yankees fans, I feel for them. That's all I'll say.
But you just countered your point here. Mets fans are
I feel for the
consistently.
Yankees. Mets they used to it. They're used to it.
Gentlemen, I do apologize. That is all the time we have for you two today. now I'm just waiting on the final voting for today's Prove Your Point. And before I receive these sheets, do you have any final remarks you would like to give me?
No, please.
Okay.
Senor.
Rock, paper,
That was.
scissors?
I had a really good time actually. That was. I'm gonna go home. I got some data homework to do. Gonna make some chamomile, I think.
Cow milk or chamomile?
Chamomile.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yep.
Sorry. I have Keurig. It does the job. But you know, at the end of the day, like I think this is fun. I really like seeing the sports com program grow, and we're gonna have a good center field meeting next week. Good Red Fox report meeting. I'm really happy Williams is part of this. So that's what I got to say.
Yeah, likewise. I mean, I'm usually not a Mets hater. I'm more of a New York General fan. But, you know, I think I made some good points. My first time here. I think I started a little too shallow compared to you, but that's just how I am. I think I grew a little bit as the episode progressed. And then once it
There's plot development.
There's
I think
plot
I really like to see that. And
it's like a beautiful Christopher Nolan.
yeah, that's
and,
true.
And you're Michael Caine.
Well, I do appreciate it. And it looks like I am being handed the winning ticket by none other than Dorito. Give a little wave.
I'd just like to say that I
called
called
it, yeah.
I called Damian Lillard going to the Bucks.
Nah,
He did call it. No, you get him out of here, though. He called it.
Sorry,
He called it.
security, where are you, please? Sorry about that. I don't know who let him in
He
here.
did call it.
Yeah.
Alrighty. And with a clean sweep, 3-0 defeat. Can I get a drum roll?
I like that.
Daniel Allback, you have won.
Wow. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
William,
Yeah,
thank
it's a
you
pleasure.
so much. Wow. Thank you so much, everyone. Will, I don't know, watch my last debate because I switched it up. Wow. Thank you to the host, Will. That was a fun one. We had some good banter. I think the people are going to like this one. So, shout out Centerfield. A little selfless plug.
Yeah, I mean, I came into it with the view of friendly conversation with a little bit of banter. I was wrong. This is banter with a drop of friendly conversation. But I think there are some improvements to be made. I think I got to focus in on what I know, and that would be basketball. I think if I get the facts right and get into my inner NBA history here, I can be, I was going to say David Stern, but I don't want to be him right now.
All right.
That's a good point.
And with that, that is it for Prove Your Point. Let's kick it back over to the table where me and Derek have a fun little game to show you guys. Catch you there. All right, guys, welcome back. That was a super fiery debate that Will and Dan just had. I still got some goosebumps from that. I don't know about you guys. But anyways, we're back. We are doing the football immaculate grid today. You know, Derek, I was thinking, what are we going? Are we going rarity, or are we just going to get this done as fast as possible? Like, what do you think here?
I think we got to get it as fast as possible.
All right,
man.
that's totally fine by me. So we have Pats, Niners, Pats, Steelers, Pats, Giants. Who immediately, you know, actually, Pats, Giants, Nate Solder immediately jumps out to me.
I mean, that's your guy.
Yeah, dude. I used to be a big Nate Solder guy growing up. 26%, you know, you can't be mad at that. Now, I'm looking here. So we have Super Bowl champ as a column too. I feel like that could be pretty easy too. I mean, like we could go like as
little
easy
bit
as
rarity,
possible.
but
yeah, I mean, like you want to throw. How about you? Yeah,
I'm gonna go with my Giants Super Bowl champions.
go for it. Lock it in.
I'm gonna go with my guy. I know we try to do sometimes rarity, but I'm gonna go Eli Manning. Slam dunk pick.
Dude, that is Derek. I'm gonna guess that's 80%. I'm gonna guess 33. Wow, I'm
33%.
shocked. We got people in the studio that's also shocked. Like, wow, I am genuinely surprised here. All right, moving on now. Honestly, I'm gonna just get Steelers Super Bowl champ out of the way. Give me James Harrison. 3% for James Harrison. That is a money selection by myself.
That's a good
money.
one. I feel like I'm a Giants guy, so Giants Jaguars should be easy, but I also feel like 49ers Super Bowl champs. Let's go Joe Montana.
No.
But-
That's a little too easy, Derek. That's a little too easy.
So maybe we'll go wide receiver would be Jerry Rice. No, let's try to go defensive player. running backs, Colin Kaepernick.
You know, Deion Sanders played for the Niners.
You know,
He won a Super Bowl with them.
Let's go with Deion. Prime time. We talked about prime time earlier.
Yes, we did. Let's keep things going. 3% Deion Sanders for the Niners. Wow, that is a money pick, Derek.
It's crazy.
All right, now what are we thinking here? We got Pats Niners, Pats Steelers. Pats Steelers could have been James Harrison also, but we already used him, so we can't. Also, there's Jags Steelers. No one really jumps. Oh, you know who actually does? Miles Jack. Wait.
Yeah, Miles Jack.
Yeah, because he did play last year. I know he just retired, but
I like that pick.
38%. Okay, that is damn. Okay. Now, I mean, again, you're a Giants guy. Does anyone kind of?
Jaguars. I feel like I should know this one, but it's just not coming to mind. Brandon Jacobs. No, I'm thinking of a running back, but nothing's really standing out to me.
Okay.
49ers.
I just want to make notice, like, the height difference here. Like, it's kind of appalling. Anyway, sorry, Derek.
49ers, Jaguars, 49ers, Patriots, Steelers.
Are you lost here, Derek?
Dude, I feel like I should know this, but I'm just having an absolute brain fart right now.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, nothing's really like jumping out to me with some of these other selections here. I mean, we got 4 left. I mean, we're doing pretty good for ourselves so far. It's just Pat Steelers, I feel like, should just be an immediate get for me. But like I said, like James Harrison was already used, and that's really one of those only. Oh, you got one?
Patriots, 49ers, Jimmy Garoppolo.
Okay.
That's the one that came to mind.
Nice. I like it. 54%.
I mean, that's what you're going to get.
Now, Derek, I just thought of something. Steelers, Pats, Juju Smith-Schuster.
That's the one.
Dude, I am actually so amazed with myself that came to me. Dude, 23%?
It's not bad.
Now, we just got Niners, Jaguars, and Giants, Jaguars. Now, Evan Ingram is a name that I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
What about you, dude? I mean, like,
that has to be the obvious one.
Now.
But there is also a kicker.
Rosas.
The kicker.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, let's throw him down.
That's got to be the guy.
Dude, I don't know how. I feel like that, like, just an alien spaceship is beaming this knowledge into my head. Because
0.9%.
Yeah.
Let's
Bring
go.
it on. Okay. Final block, Niners, Jaguars. Derek, what are we thinking here?
I feel like it's got to be a defensive guy.
But I don't know, though. I feel like there's some offensive guys
quarterback.
there.
Quarterback.
Now, who played
backup quarterback. I feel like maybe a backup quarterback.
From
Missouri.
He's playing for the Chiefs right now. Blaine Gabbert?
Yeah. That's the guy.
Dude, let's lock it in. Bang!
Yeah!
Final score of 224. Let's just check to see. Blaine Gabbert was 43%, by the way. Not too bad. All right, well, anyways, guys, that's all the time we have for you today on Halftime on the Hudson. Like I said, my name is Jimmy Chantulis, along with Derek DeGallo. We hope to see you guys again very soon.